Happy Saturday. This is Star Sector, the Nextland and Star Wars mods. Currently running with the Empire, or not running with, we're working for the Empire with, commissioned through the Empire. And this particular playthrough is mainly just the Star Wars factions, which are, I guess I can just bring those up here and see who's playing. So we have CIS, which is the Confederacy of Independent Systems, which are the droids. Of course, Empire, who we've got commission with. Ludic Path, we keep in here just for make things interesting for everybody. New Republic, Old Republic, Independence, and of course the Pirates. So again, Independence, Pirates, and Ludic Path are in here just to keep things a little interesting overall for all the factions. And as you can see, the Empire is currently at war with everybody. So to answer Vu Cruz's question, any Allegiance battle cruisers? No. Our biggest ship currently is an Imperial 1 Star Destroyer. So, Pet Shark, you get along. Well, the hard part there for Catker is getting a Pet Shark. Once a quarter talkie stream, but what would we talk about? Hey, it's Snuff again, welcome back. Because I've thought about doing different types of talk streams, right? And, you know, just sit back and talk and whatever. And actually, screwing everything up now, but we have to start this over again. But, you know, I've thought about doing a multiple sclerosis type stream where we just come down and talk and just talk about what MS is and my experience with it, and maybe have other people that have experience with it come in and talk too. But the hard part there is getting other people to come in and talk, right? And that's why I've avoided that. Why? Because I also thought about doing like a game, talk about games type stream. But again, the hard part is I can't talk about all the different types of games. I'm pretty focused on the type of game that I typically play, but I don't want to have other people come in and talk about other types of games that I don't play. And again, the hard part is getting people to come in and talk about that, because most people don't want to do that kind of stuff. They'll listen, but they don't actually want to, you know, record and, well, maybe it's not necessarily record, but just talk live, that kind of stuff. So I thought about that kind of thing. What else have I thought about doing too? I don't know, but it all comes down to, can I talk for an hour or two about stuff without getting too repetitive or too boring? And my general response is no, I can't. I'm not that kind of a person. I'm not I can just sit down and just start talking about anything. I have to have some type of direction. And even then, because of my glorious MS stuff, is I have a tendency to tangent all the time. I'm basically a squirrel chaser. All it takes is this one little trigger and I'm going off to the right and I'm no longer on subject. So again, it's not as easy as it sounds. I'll talk accept gory details from Gimpy. See, but those are the best ones, Vucros. Yeah, exactly, Desperator. Squirrel. That's how we got on this subject right here. It's all Vucros' fault. He threw this squirrel out in front of me and I chased it. And that's the problem with me doing talk shows, is that's what will happen. If I don't have a focus, I'm going to be chasing squirrels. And the reason the dog, the Mickey and Rocket show last month worked, was because we had Mrs. Gimpy was sitting next to me and we had, the videos up on the screen. So it was very easy to stay on topic. It was really easy to do that way because, it's a subject that I'm very familiar with. It's easy to stay on topic. So yeah, like gaming history condensed in 1 hour streams would be interesting. Condensed in a 1 hour stream? Oh, it'd have to be longer than that, Vucros. It would have to be longer than that. You're talking about over 40 years. Yeah, it requires a bullet list of topics and that kind of thing. And then we run into the whole spinner of topics. I can do that too. Actually, that's not a bad idea, Desperator. do a Wheel of Fortune for topics. That actually might work. If you can manage that. Well, see, that's the thing, is I wouldn't want to do everything at once. Maybe I could do a stream and say, okay, the first 10 years or the first, or the next 10 years, that kind of stuff. I could do that kind of stuff, but I have to do the topics ahead of time and give room for questions and all this other thing. So, because again, we want it to be not just me here talking, but actually interacting with you guys, the crowd. Because I think that's more interesting to me. It's more interesting to me to answer questions than it is just to say, "Oh, yeah, back in 1977, I was playing on the Atari 2600. My favorite game was Combat." You know, that's boring as hell. But if you guys are actually coming in and asking questions, okay, what are your favorite games? Why did you like them? That kind of stuff. I can see that being more entertaining. But yeah. I'm sure it'd be interesting, but it takes a lot of pre-work too. And there's the hard part: is I don't want to do a ton of pre-work, and we have to, make sure, again, keeping on subject and all this other fun stuff. Thank you very much, Jaguar. Much appreciated. Thank you. Okay. Two centers of games will be in late 70s were not exciting. Well, this is actually on that particular subject. Is back in the 70s, the games were, when you played at home, I would say at least half of them you were playing against other people too. So it wasn't you were just sitting in front of your computer playing on the internet. It was like Combat was a game that you could play against the computer or a friend, a family member, whatever. That was fun, especially as a kid. There are other games like that too. There was Combat, Outlaw. Then you have like Space Invaders and Asteroids that came out a little bit later that were, that even had double player, 2-player modes too. And that was fun stuff too. So maybe not as exciting. Graphically, of course, they're lesser by a long shot because they're only 8-bit graphics. And so there you got that going on. But they were fun. I mean, from my memory of playing those games, everyone. They were fun. So
my name is Veronica and welcome to Gimpy's Twitch channel. If you are enjoying what you are watching, please click the follow button in the lower right corner of the video screen. That way you will be notified by Twitch when Gimpy goes live. You can also follow Gimpy over on Twitter at GimpyKnee. He tweets out there when he goes live and will more than likely follow you back. Thank you for watching.
Yep, thanks for watching. Happy Saturday. And what's funny, and this reminds me, is one of my best memories of playing video games didn't involve me actually playing a video game. It was watching my mom and her friends play a game called Skydiver when they were drunk. It was friggin' hilarious. I had to have been like 10, 11 years old at the time, and we were like having a barbecue or something, and they saw us kids playing Skydiver, which is, you basically jump. It's a little Atari game. You jump out of a plane and you fall to the ground and you're supposed to pull your parachute and land on a target, right? And when you're a kid, it's really easy. But when you're watching 30-year-olds trying to do it when they're drunk, it was friggin' hilarious. And that is probably one of my best gaming moments ever. And I wasn't actually involved. So, yeah. So yeah. 2-player games were common until the Wii. Yep. Well, they still are common. I mean, we play multiplayer games all the time now, but actual 2-player games a little bit tougher. Hey, Tarkus, welcome back. But yeah. Anyway, so non-internet, yes, non-internet. When did the Wii actually come out? I never had a Wii, so I was still, because my last, my cons, I don't know. It's, I'm trying to think. Xbox. The Xbox had a lot of 2-player games. I'm sure the PS2 or whatever did too. So I don't think the Wii killed too. I don't think the 2-player games were dying because at that point, I think they were just at that. You got to remember when the Wii came out. That's when the internet was starting to blow up too, or a little before then. So co-op is not much less popular now. 0677. So yeah, that's yeah. If replacement controllers, yeah, we went through a couple of controllers too throughout the years. It happens. Yeah, there's still it's. I think what Snuff was trying to say was that 2-player games weren't uncommon. Where they're more common, pre 2000s than they are probably today, because it was more of a sit down, at least console wise, because it was sit down, and play with your friends or your family, right, as you're sitting in front, everybody's sitting and watching the same TV that way. Since then, since the 2000s, that's when the internet has blown up basically for gaming, and games have been. You don't need to sit in front of your house, your TV anymore to play with your friends. They can be on the other side of town or the other side of the world. So I think that's the main message there. It's not that two-player games aren't around anymore. It's just that sitting down in front of and on your couch playing with friends isn't as common as it used to be. So yeah, gaming in general is definitely more popular. It's the largest entertainment industry in the world by a long shot. It surpassed movies and TV years ago. It's the biggest entertainment industry in the world by a lot. So, it's not a joke. So, it used to be, when you played video games, you never told anybody you played video games because you didn't want to be called a nerd or a geek or whatever. Now it's like, if you don't play a video game now, you're a loser. In all honesty, if you don't play video games now on either a mobile device or on a computer or your TV, it's like you're a loser. You're not part of the times. Yeah. So yeah, exactly, Jumper. Or get beat up for playing video. Well, I didn't want to take it that far. Yeah, and there's less stigma for being a nerd or a geek these days because people have realized that nerds kind of rule the world, because without them you wouldn't have your mobile phones and all this cool special effects in movies and TV shows and all that kind of stuff. People have recognized that that's not possible without nerds anymore. So your entertainment is, and even your way of life now, is because of nerds. It's not because of you, it's because of a nerd. So they wouldn't date you because you were a gamer. Well, that's different. Sport. See, I'm on the other end of the spectrum there. I'm only 5'5", so it's not like I went around going, I play video games. I'm on computers, even though a lot of people knew it. Because I didn't necessarily hide it, but I didn't go around bragging about it either. And it's not because I was afraid to get beat up. It was just because there was still a stigma attached to it back in the 80s. So, it's a thing. Anyway, I should probably keep going.